Hello and welcome. My name is Alan, and today we are going to talk. Well, it's a bit about drama. I hate drama. Although I was in the drama program in high school, but that's a different kind of drama. Um, Anna Kasparian of the Young Turks and Nico House of Mikasa Sukasa Network seem to be butting heads. Anna Kasparian keeps trashing Tulsi, which, yes, you need to forgive Tulsi. You know, Nico has you on this point. Although I have to push at Nico, honestly, you need to focus on progressive issues and just not attacking those progressives you feel are fake progressives. Honestly, Elizabeth Warren is weak on everything except financial situations. I mean, she scares Wall Street, for crying out loud, because she does want laws that bring them back in line with the rest of America when it comes to financial situations. So at least on that, I give her progressive props. Everything else, eh. Uh, but yeah, Nico, you've gotta let it go, man. And it brings us to a bigger issue of we seem to eat ourselves because we're always butting heads with each other if we feel we aren't the other person isn't progressive enough for us. And I feel both Anna and Nico are at fault here in this particular instance. Anna should back off and admit that Tulsi is actually progressive because she has changed much of her views. That is clear. But Nico, you need to just step off, man, and let it and focus on the actual issues and not just pushing on other progressives or other allies, as it might be, even if, you know, they aren't necessarily up to your standards as progressive. And it's not just these two. We've seen it happen before with progressives wanting to butt heads with each other because they feel that the other isn't progressive enough. You know, I realize Bernie gave a recent speech of no middle ground. We don't back down, but we also have to find our allies where we can. We prefer to have the allies we can trust much more clearly. But the way Washington is a swamp right now, sometimes you have to dig into the muck a little to find an ally. As much as we don't want to. It just bothers me. I mean, honestly, the way I'm looking at the current Democratic primaries, Bernie number one, Tulsi number two, and then Warren number three. And I know people would attack me for that, because there's many people who feel that Elizabeth Warren isn't progressive. But like I said, I feel she is financially, because she's actually listed amongst those like Bernie for being scared of as making it to the presidency by Wall Street, by the rich, because she does actually want financially progressive laws. The rest of the stuff, you can kind of go, yeah, she's not as progressive as we want. I'll agree with you there. But yeah, she does try to push back against the rich and Wall Street. Um, Tulsi is very anti-war, having been a soldier herself. Many try to decry her as just a Assad apologist because she tried to go to Syria to deal with Assad to try to bring an end to the crisis in Syria. And they want to call her an Assad apologist, which she's not. She's trying to bring an end to war, trying to find ways that we can cut down, because honestly, our military budget too big. It's bigger than the next 10 countries combined. Think about it. There is no one near us in defense spending. I'm sorry about the light there. I had to reach over and get my drink. Anyway, it's just everybody has their own faults. You're not going to find anyone perfect. Even my number one pick, Bernie, we know he has his faults. But he's still, in my eyes and the eyes of many, the best choice. We need to quit attacking each other if we're allied on many of the same ideas. Progressivism shouldn't be an idea for petty squabbling. It should be an ideology to bring the U.S. back to, well, not back to make the U.S. great. Because arguably, there's many people who would argue it's never been great to begin with. It's always had its issues, which, honestly, every American president, everybody has their faults. And it's an idea to try to make it a better America. Not to argue with each other and say, you're not progressive enough. We cannot squabble with each other, because at that point, your idea of no middle ground that Bernie wants us to take, it's kind of ruined, because everybody we're squabbling amongst ourselves while trying to push back at everybody else. We need to be united and together on these ideas, honestly. No matter how much we may disagree with each other, no matter how much we may not like some of our other brothers and sisters in the same ideology, we cannot squabble amongst ourselves over pettiness. We've got to trust in one another. Because if there's anything we do need, it's allies. Because it's very hard to start a movement when all you have is enemies. But I guess that's it for now. As always, educate thyself. Study, read, think, and learn. Knowledge is a huge weapon. Even in progressive ideas, it's huge. But I'll see you all again in the next video. But until then, later.